Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. I want to encourage you to share the show, everybody. That is very, very important. The first thing we ask of you is to share the show. Always share the show. Share it on your page, share it with your friends, share it in the groups that you are in. Share it everywhere you can. That's the first thing you do when you come on here. Like, share, and comment. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us. Today we are going to be discussing corruptions in Liberia. Fighting corruption in Liberia. That is the topic of today. We have some brand new information to share with you as it relate to the overall fighting corruption in Liberia. It's not getting better, to be honest with you. But Liberia is our only common denominator. We have to do everything we can to bulwark the image of Liberia, regardless of who is in power, who is right, who is wrong. Liberia is only in one country that we cannot be deported from. That is country Liberia. Let's get to Johnson Mabon Kula to get this started. Mabon, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing great. Sorry that yes, that coming on a little bit late, but I'm doing okay. Thank God for life. And I don't know about you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Yeah. So today we are going to be discussing corruption, fighting corruption in Liberia. Um, we got some new information to share with our people today, regardless of the side you're on. SKTV is always here to provide you with information, education, and our people they deserve to know. So we're supposed to have a guest today. Let me do this. Let me do this for a second. Just give me a second. Sorry about that. Quickly, we just have some emergency, some urgent call. So we want to make sure yeah, somebody was calling me and I don't know. But yes, please share the show, everybody. Let's get this conversation started. It's very important. We share the show. All right. Share the show, everybody.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touching for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers are giving us care, the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
I live
Master.
Clay Paris, who make you, I can't ask you to be menu. Say my chenny, Tina can ask my yamu. And he's a no money, and Muaye, you. And you love our money, Muaye, you. What is that?
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I Guinea, ya to money. And I Sadia, ya to money. And I Conakry, ya to money. And I Codoboy, ya to money. And I Guinea, ya to money. And I Sadia, ya to money. And I Conakry, ya to money. And I Codoboy, ya to money. And I forget now, ya to money. That's the baby. And I forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
SKTV, the best in Liberia. SKTV, the best in Africa. SKTV, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touching for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
SKTV the best in Liberia, SKTV the best in Africa, SKTV the best in the whole wide world. Mabel, I know you're gonna step out to take care of something really quick. I saw that. So we are having a guest today. Um, who is this guest? Tell me a little bit about it before we can bring the guest on. Tell our audience who this person is a little bit. Then the person will eventually introduce themselves to the audience and to the Liberian people who they are and to the world at large, so we can get a conversation started. Who is this person
So,
right now?
yes. So, again, thank you. This is, in fact, he's former Captain Jerry K. Cody of the Armed Forces of Liberia, also from the Veteran Bureau, who served his country for a very long time, and he's here to better explain more about himself to us as people. So I don't just want to jump the gun, but actually he here from the Armed Forces of Liberia. He's a former captain also from the Veteran Bureau. So he's here to tell us more about what happening, some of the uh, maybe the treatments, maybe when it comes to security and so forth. So you want to tell us more about that as requesting during the interview. So I don't want to make our people.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
before
That's
you.
okay. We're gonna bring the veteran on. But before we do, let me just ask you, as always, what are some of the trending news right now in our country, especially in Liberia and in Monrovia in particular? What is going on?
So again, thank you so much, Mayo, our president and his delegate. They are finally arrived in Beijing, China, ahead of the Forum on China Africa Cooperation, or let's say the FOCAC, on today. So the president and his delegates, they are there for that forum. Again, the nation capital, we are doing great. Nothing much apart from the salary wahala, all of the things that are going on between the oppositions, political parties, maybe let me just say the opposition people bringing the government feet to fire, and social distancing also their own take on that. But my new school open since Monday, but we are getting report from my Gibi County that parents they are appealing to principals or school owners at least to give them little time so that they can be able to register their children for the school year, because almost all of the campuses are all empty, and so it's very, very sad for us as people. But even though school open this week, and parents they are still appealing to school owners or government officials or Ministry of Education to give them time so that they can be able to register their children. So far, apart from the school information, yes, nothing much apart from the president and his delegates in China. So far, we are good. And the weather condition here in Liberia is great, especially in the nation capital. We are all doing good. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much. So we're going to be bringing the guests on, but before we do, SKTV was informed that there's a report out there, and this report has to do with the alteration of the budget. You know, it will amuse you as to who they are holding responsible for altering the budget after the budget had left the presidency, went to both houses for their own perusal, and you know, and they decided to send it back to the president after addition and subtraction, after everything they did with it. And then the budget made it back to the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to be, you know, put into a handbook. Then $20 million was moved. Now the Liberian legislature is reporting that the deputy chief clerk is the one responsible for moving $20 million, for altering the budget. This is something that we're going to talk about later on. It's very, very shameful. It's embarrassing. I'm not sure how, you know, this is possible, but they work on it. They give the report yesterday. Now they are saying that they want to share the report with other members of the House of Representatives. But Melbourne, can you imagine, after everything that happened, after the House of Representatives, the Senate, you know, after the initial budget was crafted by the executive, it was sent to the legislature for the perusal and concurrence, and they did that. And sent it back to the president. President sent it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Finance. Be placed into a handbook. But then the document was altered. The budget, money was up to 20 million United States dollars. But we are aware of those that did it. But guess what? They are now saying that it was the deputy chief clerk of the House of Representatives that altered the document. How is that? How possible? But anyway, let's bring the guests on. Let's talk about other things today, but we're gonna dig deeper later on this. It is very, 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 very embarrassing.
Indeed, seriously. That also sparked a lot of reactions also, but that came out on yesterday. Like you said, you know, it's just so embarrassing, but I know that before the weekend, we're going to get all of the information, even though there are other lawmakers that have been, names have been put front as to those lawmakers are also part of the alteration of the documents according to what we are reading here from Front Page Africa. So again, it's saddening for us as people that every time people want to be stealing from their own cover, people want to be stealing from their own people, people want to be doing all kinds of wickedness to their own people. So, like you said, that feeling with a guess, maybe when you go after the news or something, then yes.
All right, let's welcome here former Captain Jerry K. Colley. Jerry, Captain Colley, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, how are you, my dear brother Sego?
I'm doing
Live with
wonderful.
you.
I know this is your first time appearing on SKTV. We are glad to have you here. So, what is the motivation today? What really motivated you to come to SKTV today and by extension, Truth FM, to speak to the Liberian people in Liberia and around the world?
Well, thank you very much. Let me appreciate the administrator of this wonderful studio. So beautiful. I mean, I'm happy to be with the family. There are a lot of turning issues in the veteran community. Uh, First of all, to introduce myself to the Liberian people or the listening audience, my name is Captain Jerry K. Colley, Jerry Kekla Colley. I joined the Armed Forces of Liberia in 1986. I was recommended by the Providence Baptist Church. I was a
Hmm.
Boy Scout of Liberia when those decided to recruit the SATU unit. The men department called us as Boy Scout and asking us what we want to do. And I decided to go in the army because I wanted to go to school. And my thinking was when I go in the army, I'll pray for a scholarship, I go to school. And how they took me, the men department president at the time, Mr. Lloyd, took me to the fifth floor of the mansion, put my hand in President Doe's hand. And he said, look, this is one of our Boy Scouts. And he said, he want to join the army. He said, but then your king time. He called General Franklin Smith. He put my hand in his hand. He gave me $150 US to go and prepare myself to go to Sugar Beef for training. And I was taken to Conodoba, an all senior officer of the SATU unit, to go for interview on Sugar Beach to become a soldiers. And that's how I went through the army. And I graduated. I went for several training. I was trained by Colonel Gwen in Kenama to operate heavy weapon. I was trained by Colonel Diesel Brown in Bombay Hill to 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 learn infantry. And I was trained by Colonel Billy to become one of the intelligence officers and member of the G2, member of the Joint Security. I also served Painesville 8 years as the chairman of the Joint Security. Prior to the dissolution of the Armed Forces of Liberia, I read a comprehensive PA score, and I noticed in Article 7, A, B, C, and D that the process of dissolution of the Armed Forces of Liberia, it was not in place. I called one Jean Nansen from, I called the registration name. And he came to me. I started the case. I called the soldiers to slavery. My first move to defense, the President Salif ordered my arrest. I went to jail. Councillor Kobe Johnson was the lawyer. And she dropped the case. She paid the soldiers 4 months. Somebody to come and say, I'm not soldiers. I don't know where to get the information from. I'm a bona fide soldiers. I fought the Liberian civil crisis. I was one of those who entered Buchanan first to Indiana. I was one of those who captured the BZD from Chatilla to Jacob Town, Division 35. Colonel Sika Chico Colonel dead. Colonel Moore dead. But Colonel Nangbe is here. They were at the PPD headquarters Habe when those items were turned over to them. So for somebody to say, I'm not a soldier, man, I'm surprised. And I became special aide to the Joint Chief of Staff. But by Waikona, as a bodyguard, how can you take a surveillance and send it to the Chief of Staff? And because of the discipline and capability to provide VIP protection, that's how I went there. My problem is, I wrote the veteran request to the president of Liberia, then Helen Johnson Sirleaf. Minister of Defense was there. The Vice President, President, he was there. H. Bama family were there. When I presented the document to President Sirleaf to establish the Veteran Ministry, I did not say Veteran Bureau, and they established the Veteran Bureau. So the Veteran Bureau are being led by people who don't know how to manage the veteran community, to formulate programs and other things. And I said, some of the senior officers that were there during early time, the top property of the Veteran Bureau, they should produce it.
Captain, thank you so much. We will go to that, but we want you to train us a little bit into doing your days into the army. How much were you people making by then? Because people are following you now. People really want to get all of these things because, mind you, we are into a country where salaries and so forth, salary disparities here and there, and sometimes after service, there's nothing to go on with. Some of your parents or your family members and everybody just the poverty. So what was the salary like during your time?
I got 2 bags of rice with $260 as a private soldier in the Santo unit. That was my salary.
And that was from 1986.
In 1986, I was B-ball, very handsome in the military uniform. I said, President, I said, Balaga. So how can somebody say I'm not Soya?
Yeah,
it's
so what kind of that I think, yeah,
and the army was very sweet.
Yes,
was very sweet.
These are things I want.
I mean, when I wear uniform those days,
So
when I
hold
go into work, if you see me, you want to join the army.
All right.
The people dissolve this army that West Africa ever respected when it comes to infantry.
All right.
Only
Thank you.
because they wanted to bring people of their interest.
Thank you so much for more, Captain Jerry K. Colley. That was a very good introduction, but we want to take a little bit deeper. So you said you entered the army in 1986. When did you retire?
When I retired, they disbanded the army, 2005. Because when the comprehensive peace,
what do you mean by that?
When all of the parties that was involved in the conflict went to Ghana and crafted a document called Comprehensive Peace Accord. And in Article 7 of the Peace Accord, they said disband all irregular forces and restructure the armed forces of Liberia with new command structure. And Julie Brown said he was not elected. He came and mobilized the army. I got my certificate. Penny restructure by the elected president, which was Helen Johnson Sirleaf. When she took over, she said, we retire ourselves. So she disbanded the army and recruited militia that are on ground now. Because soldier is being recruited by the legislature. That's how I know. That's how I started the case. That's how we want to go in all. Johnny Lewis came from the upper court and won the civil law court for the decision to be made. Unfortunately, they told us that the army was not established by law. I don't know how it became armed forces of Liberia. And currently,
so
those soldiers are still languishing around.
Yeah, so I want to also clarify this part because when the army was quote unquote disbanded by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was the opportunity there for those of you who were already in the army to reapply and go for retraining and be part of the reform army?
But that was not the step. The step was not to formulate new army. The step was to go and pay off wounded soldiers, retire old service personnel, those that will remain They check on the education background, the qualifications. Those are remedial. Then they can ask the legislature to pass a fiscal year budget, 1 year budget, to train new army, additional army, add on the old one. That's the process of restructuring.
Okay.
But you cannot recruit a new army with all legislation. It's a militia.
Okay.
Because the executive branch of government, by law, not responsible for recruitment and retirement. It is legislation responsibility.
Okay.
I can challenge the legislation to show any legislation of establishing a new soldier.
So when you guys were disbanded, quote unquote, by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, were you guys placed on any pension or retirement benefit or anything, for your service to the country? Not just you, all the part of the armed forces of Liberia. Those that were disbanded were, allegedly disbanded by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. Were you guys put
but the thing is,
any pension or any benefit at all?
There were no benefit. Illegal pensions that were Ellen did. And paid, currently the students are making 7,500 LD. Those that were pensions. And I refuse it. Because Liberia is a country of law. They got pension law. And that law was not implemented. There were no certificate of pension. There was no mailer. What I will show to my children that I serve this country, that I fought Liberia Civil War. I never run away from here to go anywhere. I stayed behind the gun until the war ended.
Captain, so for Captain, we sincerely apologize. We got to go for the news break and 15 minutes so that you can go for brief in, brief out a little bit, please. After the news bulletin, we're going to continue with you. So, Chief Segu?
No problem. We will take over from here, and then we expect you guys to come back after the 15 minutes. So, folks, I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. This conversation is going to be very, very interesting. I'm eager to know a lot. I know many of you also are eager to know a lot, to learn a lot. To have a former military personnel, especially in huge number, being disbanded and not put on any pension, retirement benefit. I think that is our complete recipe for chaos in the country. We don't know how many are those people, how many of them were somehow disbanded. We don't know how many of them are angry. Well, that is a conversation for another day. And when the former captain comes back, we will talk about some of the important issues when it comes to that. But fighting corruption in Liberia is one of the responsibility of all Liberians. The reason where we are right now is because of corruption. And largely, after the return of constitutional democracy in Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was the president. Pretty much, the destruction of Liberia, when it comes to corruption, Ellen was one of those people, or Ellen is responsible for institutionalizing corruption in Liberia. The systematic corruption that we are faced with right now was somehow institutionalized by Ellen. She's the one that started paying lawmakers $15,000 because she wanted to steal more money, she allowed lawmakers to take any amount they wanted to take. Ellen government created a lot of loopholes where they could get money, where they could make the country for their own benefit and their family. The idea that the NSA can be audited, this institution or that institution cannot be audited, was also done by Ellen. To weaponize the finance ministry, make the finance ministry more powerful than any other ministry in the country, because they have the money, they hold the key to the money, was also done by Ellen. If you look at Liberia and look at what we've been through as a country, Ellen and those who serve with her, they started to destroy the country through corruption. George Weah was elected because of the rampant corruption that were perpetuated by the Ellen-led government and the Unity Party as a whole. George Weah came, they saw the money, they thought the world was going to end, that there was no tomorrow. They decided to steal again from the Liberian people. But one of the major problems in Liberia, when it comes to our governing system, is the legislature. Where in the world the document that were signed by the entire House of Representatives, approved, they went over it, they added and subtracted some stuff, they inflated the budget for 600 plus million to 700 plus million. And before that budget becomes effective, $20 million was moved. It has been reported that the Senate, especially the rescue senators, were the one that actually participated in order the alteration of the budget. And that the Speaker of the House was informed about that. But now, the document that was initially crafted as a draft budget by the executive, sent to the legislature, the Joint Committee on Finance worked on it. It was approved by the House of Representatives, and also the Senate concurred with it, and they sent the document back to the executive as the final budget. The president signed the budget. Later on, it was discovered that there was some alteration in the budget, the national budget of the country. Now the report is saying that the deputy chief clerk, I can't understand this country, man. The deputy chief clerk is all of a sudden now responsible for alteration of the national budget. So let's take that at face value. If the chief clerk is responsible, for altering the national budget. The budget amount to 700 million plus. And $20 million was moved single-handedly allegedly by one deputy chief clerk, not even the chief clerk, but deputy chief clerk of the House of Representatives, unknown to everybody. How possible is that? What these people are taking Liberian people for? How is that possible? That means, are you telling me the chief deputy clerk was the final person to work on the document? Are you telling me the chief deputy clerk was the final signatory to the document? Was the person that actually worked on the document before anybody else or after everybody else? You're telling me the document went to the president and they did not review or see anything before signing it? Because you're telling me now the document was altered before sending it to the president, but the president didn't capture the alteration of the document. The entire executive committee of the presidency, they could not find anything. The document went to the Ministry of Finance, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but yet nobody could capture any alteration or manipulation of the document that was allegedly done by a deputy chief clerk. Liberia as a country, we have a long way to go. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to believe. You know, when I read a post from one of the representatives in person of Musa Hassan Bility, who was largely accused of being corrupt, is now the one fighting corruption in the Liberian House of Representatives. Musa Bility is saying that Liberia's problem, the corruption in the country, is from the House of Representatives. That if the House of Representatives is now faced, corruption will never finish in Liberia. In fact, going to the extent of saying that the House of Representatives is a crime scene. Crime scene. Do you know what a crime scene is? If a representative who works in the House of Representatives calling that particular branch of the government as a crime scene and being consistently calling for an audit of the House of Representatives, that tells you a lot. That means the report that we heard is not only confirmed, but it is not clear. It is not clear that the Speaker of the House is an accomplice, is a part of the stealing. Do you remember when it was reported and confirmed by members of the House of Representatives that there was a call placed to the Speaker of the House by some member of the Senate, namely Senator Dapo from Refugee, Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, the Protein from Gambasa County, Senator Ibrahim Daros Dillon from Montserrat County, and two other people from the executive calling to tell the Speaker about what happened, but they have $4 million for themselves. That $1 million was available for the president, for the Speaker of the House, so he can take that and share that with some of the leadership of the House of Representatives. But because the phone was on speaker, on loudspeaker, the Speaker told the people, "Oh no, I don't want to be a part of that," because he has other colleagues present. And this was confirmed because sometimes if something is coming from Yeke Kolba, they will say, "Oh, Yeke just be against the president. Oh, Yeke just against the Unity Party people." But this information, when we said it here, Yeke called us and confirm it. And then another representative from the Unity Party, Representative Gisi Colley of Lufra County, Gisi Colley also confirmed the information. Now, the Speaker, in an attempt to cover up the corruption, to protect himself and those of the Senate, corrupt officials, they are now putting the blame on one poor, powerless deputy chief clerk. Does that make sense to you at all? Does that make sense to you at all? I don't know where we are headed as a country. Because if you can't trust the executive, for some reason you will say, well, we have the legislature to hold the executive accountable. Or if you can't trust the executive, you trust the justice system, you say, well, the justice system is independent. They will do things in accordance with the law to protect the country. Or you will say, well, the judicial system will be there to prosecute and hold everybody accountable for violating the law. But if you have the executive corrupt, the judiciary is corrupt, and you have the House of Representatives and the House of the Senate also corrupt, then what kind of country we have? And being corrupt is being admitted by all of them. When Dillon entered the Senate, the first thing Dillon said to the Liberian people was, the Senate, the legislature is immensely corrupt. Now, when Dillon tasted the corruption money. He too became corrupt more than the people he met there. The only person that has been consistent for years, because of that, many people believe that Yeke Okoloba was not going to return to the House of Representatives. It's only Yeke. Now, Musa Belete, Kisi Koli, and other people now, they have flagged this thing, that the legislature is corrupt. If you have a country wherein patients going to the hospital, they can't be touched until they buy glove, wherein people being transported on motorbike, pregnant women being transported on motorbike, some people giving birth on the highway, in the bushes, because no ambulances to transport the sick people. In a country where you're having military people not getting proper pay, police are not getting paid properly, teachers are not getting paid properly, nurses are not getting paid, but you have a handful of people sharing among themselves millions of dollars on a daily basis. Liberia is a curse. We say it can hurt people. People don't want to hear it. But I don't know when Liberia will be delivered. I don't know when Liberia will really get back to our senses. Those of us who were very young, but at least we lived to see a better Liberia. I don't know when Liberia going to. That's why Liberian people say normal days. Since 1990, we have never returned to normal days. Liberia has never been normal since the first shot was fired in 1990, up to where we are. It's just getting worse and worse by the day. Corruption after corruption after corruption. One government will come, we will say the other government was better than this one. Another one will come, we will say the other one was better than this one. It's never getting better. And now we don't have legislature. Bunch of corrupt-minded people, criminals, professional criminals are the one leading us. How come leaders of legislature will join hands with the executive to steal $20 million from the people in the budget that was already approved? We need to come and lie on one poor, powerless guy who knows nothing about anything. But you know what? He has to take the shot. He has to take the bullet for the speaker, for the Senate pro tem, for all the leaders in the House of Representatives and the Senate, so that he can get his cut. Because he knows, even if he's accused of stealing millions of dollars, nothing will happen to him, because he's taking a bullet for his leaders, unfortunately. Welcome back, Captain Jerry Colley. We were in the middle of a very, very interesting conversation. Hopefully, we will bring you back again to talk. We will continue with it for a little bit for today, but I don't think we'll be able to cover everything. So I wanted to ask you, do you have an idea as to how many soldiers were left hanging after when they were disbanded, when AFL was disbanded, or when AFL was restructured? How many soldiers? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I have an idea. we have 15,944 soldiers. Now let me give you how they came about.
15,944 soldiers were disbanded.
Yes,
Okay.
the E.90, you always hearing the name. In 1988, recruitment started. 1989. Recruitment started, though, as a legislature to permit the executive branch of government to recruit and train additional men to augment the strength of the army. Those guys were on training base, almost to graduate, when charted a launch of war in Liberia. So those guys were just graduating, not having too much experience on war, go on the battlefront. And because of internal conflict, some soldiers were captured and they surrender. They stay on the other side. But after everything, other soldiers came together. We were master under Amos government. And the soldiers number came to 944 soldiers or so. And because during the war, when David fought in Bonkande, President Doe under the talking tree, he was looking for soldier who is in David time. And I'm a community I hear from in Bonkande. And I said, I know the place. And they sent me there to find out as to whether it's true that Prince Johnson passed there. And I went there. The man still lived to call him Peter Domain. He the only one who saw me and knew me that I was soldiers. And I knew I wanted to return. I crossed the Monkey Bridge. A lot of soldiers were killed. When I came back to time, I made a report to President Doe through the intelligence officer, First Sergeant. They told him and that he called for able-bodied men and women to join the army to fight the war. And those guys was the militia soldiers that joined the army. They also fought. They fought until the war ended. You could not throw the men away who have experience of gun. And some of them were educated. So they remained to augment the strength of the army. We had a muster to even wear a uniform in the town. Second we were travel. We used to put our uniform back. We get a BDC before wearing. Even me. Second I was captured by IMPFL. I was used on the battlefront. If I was not trained, I was going to die. Prince Johnson sent us at the fire line. My assignment was in DV at the Baptist Church. The church testimony. Under my watch, as a commander there, that church was not burned by MPFL. People in DV don't know. And I observed the rule of engagement. Nobody in DV can say, Captain Collie, can somebody here? At the time, I was a private soldier. Hey, man, it's unfortunate. This 19 years I'm not working. I never got dying because I refused to participate in the illegal pension. So my knees down on the pension pay currently. And the pension officer are making $7,500. While people are making 15,000, 20,000.
Hold on. So let's not confuse. So you're talking about the pension of $7,500 Liberian, right?
Yeah.
While others are making 15,000 United States dollars.
Yes.
Soldiers that serve the country
Yeah.
are getting how much is 7,000? What is the equivalent of $7,500 to that of the United States dollar?
Somewhere around $35.
Hold on. $30 US dollar?
35 United States dollar.
That is what they are getting.
That is what they are getting.
Monthly, while others are getting $15,000 at LTA.
Some say we were talking, I won't cry. Because during we went through the war, and we hold on the state. We took care of the mansions. No military violence took it. We get the key to Amos Sawyer. Then what kind of protection you want from us? When the citizens themselves rebel against the state and encourage the rebel, those rebellion are the one enjoying today.
So
they make billions of dollars.
Captain Colley, let me first of all say thank you for your service to your country, and thank you to all of those who, who worked for Liberia and on behalf of Liberia, especially security personnel. I know a little bit about the armed forces of Liberia. I know a little bit about the AFL soldiers, and I know the treatment AFL received. And when Charles Taylor became president, I know how AFL was marginalized. I know how much ATU were paid before SSS, with ATU. I know how much SOD we're getting compared to the AFL. I know. And when I say I know a little bit, because I can say I know a lot. I don't want to beat my own drum, but I can tell you, I know. But my concern to you now, and the question to you, all of those thousands of former soldiers from the AFL, all of them in the country, isn't that a national security threat if they are not taken care of?
Well, Sekou, we are Liberian. We know what happened in war. We know how our people die in the street. We demonstrating commitment to the peace process. You just saw military women knocking party together, the defense minister resigning. You saw our armed forces, they were cancer. What about Calvin Colley ready to sacrifice his life? I was trained to protect president. And all I tell you this.
We know what the status, yes.
The country was wrong. Boy, we got children. We love our country. But the people in the country don't love us. Look at me, you say, I'm not qualified to be battalion commander. Sekou, look at me, you say, I'm not qualified to be soldiers. But when people came here, they were all rumpled, or they say they are United Nations peacekeeper. Some of them can't even write their name. Only your soldier not educated. Any gun you bring, beside the one that manufactured today or year before last year, I can operate it because I want to armor. And I took training for 6 months. But I'm not going to go in. I operate 7.62 machine gun, 30 caliber, 106, caliber 50. You need the gun. RPG. My AR gun then that N203. That means when I get my caliber 60, I got N203 with me. It is to cause trouble in this country than anything. But we say let's demonstrate commitment to the peace process. Our involvement, talking to our colleagues. Let's accept the situation. Besides this government, I petitions the Joawea government. The case was made. Jimmy Smith was the chairman of Defense National Security. He called the defense minister, the chief of staff, they made the case. Sent they said 2 weeks. They wanted confusion. And maybe they had some people get rich and will hold on to it. Current government, I petitions Baba Chima, telling him, as a speaker, I stay as soldiers. And the government of Liberia honor the obligation to pension me, retire me, and give my back pay. Send the communication when I follow attire. They said that we should call trouble first, so we can get bigger salary. I say no, Sekou. We all suffer for this country. The people that enjoy, let it enjoy. But God there for us. My children are in school. Currently, no money to register that.
So,
why?
So let me ask you, how many of you actually fighting for this uh, pay or pension or retirement benefit? How many of you working together? Is just you on a one man show, or you have or an organized, group of soldiers who are actually fighting for their pensions and retirement benefit?
The entire Ida Nati, almost 944 elements were thrown out. They were not pensioned.
Yeah, but how many of them speaking out? How many are they actually ready to say,
When we were together.
Okay.
I also served as chairman of the dismantle. I was the spokesperson.
Okay.
Rachel Boy were there, Conan Nangbe were there. But as anytime we speak, the country get headed scatter, people got security trade, no investment. So we decided to sit down and look at the government.
Wow.
To establish the Veteran Bureau. They establish it. They brought one former general, commanding general, who ran away from Liberia war. And he wanted to retire and pension. So we said we're not working with him. The people that are working with him on the early government, they don't want to talk to the property of the Veteran Bureau. Say, Joy, we are government could not audit. Joseph Waka come and try to audit. We say audit then. Where's our tritos? What they find implement?
So
you know what's to be built on the veteran land, 100-acre land, government boy and give it to us.
So hold on.
Don't try to what's to be used there.
So
Even though agricultural elements that are working there, they did not take pay. What happened with the money? And money went there. There was a budget. Let it audit them. That's why I said.
So let me.
Some of the senior officer came here.
Let me
They say,
understand.
I'm not educated. They are educated. They got a criteria to go to the Veteran Bureau as a leader. I laugh at that, Segu.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. So now, let me understand this. Is it the government as a whole is refusing to take care of you guys, or is it the Veteran Bureau that is responsible to take care of you guys is the one actually reneging on their responsibility? Is it the government as a whole, the president not paying attention from Ellen to Wia to Wakai? Is it the presidency?
It's the presidency.
Is the presidency?
Of course.
So
the government as a whole, the three departments are responsible. The first department, which is the legislature, in my own right mind, and the executive branch, they are responsible for recruitment and training, for retirement. We cry retire.
But what is the responsibility of the Veteran Bureau? What are they doing?
Well, the Veteran Bureau should be responsible to organize the veteran elements and formulate a program for them to benefit. Maybe seek for scholarship from government, for some of the people to go to school, carry on agricultural activities, for elements of the veteran to benefit. And in fact, the government of Liberia should be under the obligation to send veteran children to school. And the government is not doing nothing. I guess the budget of the Veteran Bureau will not only see 500,000. It not even reach there. So how can we formulate a program? In fact, though they have been appointed, they don't have the technical know-how. They were appointed based on interest basis.
So who's
we who got technical know-how? They sit down in the corner and tell them we are not educated. And say what can challenge them. I'm a reservoir of knowledge.
So
at the University of Liberia, major, public administration minor, history I elected. I read at the level of a historiographer. This is my wire certificate from the high school. This is my high school diploma. It's Jerry Colley. years ago.
Okay.
I entered the university in 2005 and graduated 2013. This is my university degree. I did political science major. And Topper taught me. He listened to me, good governor chairman. Prof. Leon taught me. And I graduated. In the 95th class, our class name was Katafi. How can somebody who drop off from college sit down and say, I'm not educated? And the honorable once the man appearing in a presentation that he married, another married in the room.
Let me get our part clear before we go to maybe on to open the lines so we can get some calls here. Let's get some reaction from Liberians. And no leaders listen to this platform at large, from the highest level, and other low-key government officials also listen. But before we go there, who is the person that called you uneducated? Who said you're not educated? How is that important when it comes to you speaking up for your right and your
you know,
who is the person that educated? You care to share with
Aaron Johnson came here. General Johnson. He said I'm not educated. Will I say I'm not educated? Because I said they got property of the Veteran Bureau. Will I was there on a job we are administration? In fact, I recommend it. He did not do turnover. He said he got a master's degree. He don't know how to do inventory check to make report. He got a bureau computer. So how can that man sit there and say I'm not educated when I recommended me to become deputy director of veteran affairs? The minister of defense was sitting there. Alex Jr. was the chairman of the disbanded soldier. I was the co-chair. I recommended him to be deputy chairman for veteran for administration. I recommended Gurich, Colonel Gurich, enter the military trains. The Larry the priority. How can he say I'm on the national platform, international platform, and say Jericho is not educated? Well, who you can make turn over no? Let him bring a turn over no copy to the studio and show to the world. Like I don't mind. Why a turn over note?
Wow.
They employ their family there in the bureau. Why so you languishing? Like nepotism. What is that, Seko?
All right, Captain Jerry Colley. I'm thrilled. To be honest with you, I want you to come back so we can have this conversation for a whole 2 hours.
You say that, sir?
I would love to have you back.
Yes, sir.
Because we're not going to conclude this conversation today because I have a lot of questions to ask you and Mabel as well. And my other colleagues, I believe, they will have questions to ask you. But in the meantime, let me go to Mabel. And Mabel may want to ask you 1 or 2 questions. Then we can open the line in Liberia to hear from the Liberian people.
Okay, yeah, so quickly, thank you so much, former captain. So that move back to the Veteran Bureau. You care to tell us who are those leaders, maybe that controlling the bureau?
Currently, we don't have a leader. The board of administration was established, was just appointed a few days ago by the president of the Republic of Liberia, and I appreciated him for appointing the board of the Veteran Bureau, requesting him to make appointment. And those that we want them to be appointed, they were vetted by the Veteran Bureau. They are all college students, and because we want a very good veteran community, we should do comparative analysis. Allah, if abroad, not be looking at the sub-region. How our people are taking care of the veteran in Salome, in Ivory Coast, in Guinea. How are they? Because those countries also visit war. What happened with the veteran? So currently the HR is in control. And we are asking the government, those people who are vetted their knee and were given to the Minister of Defense, we are expecting them to be appointed so that the veteran can be able to advocate, the Bureau can be able to advocate for our benefit, through the government, Liberia, to the international community. I would love to come back. I'll bring a comprehensive piece of call. And the opinion, I will read it. And you listen to it, and you understand it, who is responsible for the soldiers, for the dissolution of the armed forces of Liberia.
All right. Thank you. So, Seko, I can go to the line?
Yes.
So 07777. Again, the number to call is 0777285 Again, 0777285 You are listening to the show, the SKTV show, right here on Truth FM, and we have the veteran, former captain Jerry Colley in studio, explaining a lot of happening in the veteran, and also when it comes to no, don't do that to us, please. Keep a calls coming 0777285 That is the number to call. Please move away from the monitor when you call. Hello? Hello? Yeah, go ahead. Good, we are fine, thank you. Go ahead, your name and from where you join us.
Yeah, this is for my messenger. I think the top just I want campaign, the phone campaign.
All right. What are the pensioning or you were dismissed? To this caller, good evening.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm okay, thank God. Go ahead, your name and from where. Yes, this is Truth FM, and you are live on the SKTV show.
Okay, this is retired Air Force Surgeon, Mr. Jonah Kennedy, W1.
Go ahead.
Are you getting me? Are
yes.
You getting me, sir?
Yes, go ahead, Chief.
You see, because of rebellions against your leader, that the reason why the war came to this country. Retired Captain Colley need to know better. We are very disappointed. A group of soldiers listen to him. We are very disappointed. We captured this professional soldier don't sound the way he sound.
Are you part of the leadership?
I'm not a leader. I'm not part of any leadership. I'm a retired soldier. A constitutional army by law. It was two different, the 1990 and the legitimate soldier. So you need to get it straight. The 1990 received $500. Although it was illegal what it did to us, we protest demonstrators. There's a lot of things, but you have to be professional. You need to respect your leaders when they're there.
What did he do right now that is on?
Hello, but after everything you've been saying here, nothing is on record. Though.
No, just asking what you think is unprofessional.
Okay, go ahead. Which one that you said that is unprofessional according to you?
The way he sound on the radio as a soldier, there will be no professional soldier of the armed forces of Liberia breaking the sound the way he sound.
All right.
Let me be fair for you.
All right, thank you.
How do you go back to your closet and recalibrate and come back and sound good?
All right, thank you so much, Chief. Maybe you are. Hello. Yeah. Sometimes when you are frustrated, you don't know how to listen. Hello.
I mean, I hear a soldier.
You in us. Yeah, we're not getting you, man. Yeah. Hello?
My name is Hussein Keu. I call from Chicago.
Yeah, go ahead, boss.
I listen to your guest in studio. But they purpose mean a whole lot. When people who claim to be educated and professionals, then the way they're going about discussing national issues, then it worries the young generation and the youth as the whole. Because you are a professional man. I think there are other means of getting redress. In fact, even a paying SKTV does not justify anything that you will get redress. That's the first thing you need to understand. There are authorities that are responsible whenever there are disagreement in different parts of different entities.
So,
there are people you can go and get redress.
So, hello. Take your own time. So when you have issues and maybe you are talking behind the same and nothing working, what can you do?
What's the evidence of talking behind the scene? Ask your guest.
They may say you've been doing that, and even we are
asking for the evidence. Asking for the evidence.
Let me try and get another.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let people have it.
Good. When I get you too good, please, if you call, please, go straight to what the man discussing and forget about. Hello, today's caller, hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say good evening to Captain Colley.
Good evening.
Captain Colley, I have an issue with you. You are contradicting yourself in many of the things that you say. Self-defense is not a machine gun.
A lot of noise in the background.
Yeah, man. Maybe they make
No, the noise in the background, the people that are calling, tell them to get away from the radio so we can hear them. I don't know. For some reason, we're getting a lot of background.
Yeah, man. The feedback, they just sitting behind every time, like, bro, you be telling them one thing over and over and again.
You always move away a little bit from the radio, from the receiver.
God.
It will interfere with the radio. But I'm enjoying the calls because just take two more calls, then we can listen to the captain writing. The calls are not clear. People want to hear them.
Hello. Okay. So is he? So like. Yeah, so with one or two more calls, 077-285. That's the number to call. Please don't go straight to the point. Maybe there are some disagreements, maybe that you have, but that's the way of handling issues. 077-285, that's the one, and move away from your monitor, please, so that we can get you clear, loud and clear. Because former captain, we want to respond to your questions, or maybe your qualms. So again, 077-285, 961. That's the number to call for you to be part of the show. If no calls come in, then let me cross over now to the team, so that because most of you just called the job, with noise.
Maybe let me say this.
Mm.
You know, truth can hurt. If the captain came here and speaking the way he's speaking, you're gonna come across a lot of people, as an honest person who is expressing his concern about what happened to him and others, right? Those who are perpetrators, they're gonna come across as this man trying to tarnish our reputation, this man trying to destroy us, this man, he will not speak out, this man will try to, he will destroy our character. So when they call in, don't argue for them. Don't argue for this man. This man is eloquent enough to defend himself. When they call in, just ask them questions. Don't argue with them. Don't argue with their position. They allow them to speak. When they finish, the captain will come and address it.
All right, so let me go to the line and take a few calls. Hello to this caller.
Just two more calls.
Wow.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Benigo Newton, CBC Defense Giant calling from Kumota. Actually, why are people taking this to be a debate? The captain in studio explaining his profession. Secondly, I learned some of the challenges that he went through previous 6 years ago. Now he's seeking expression that will determine the way forward. Now, if that is so, I believe predictably that we Liberia we shall be conflict sensitive to his tribe and find a suitable ground as to which you identify what you require for people because efficiencies are clearly adjusted in the silence. Thank you.
Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, this is I don't know why you haven't called me on.
We're not getting you. Hello, Chief. We're not getting you. So all of you, your line was part of. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the corner, yes, said it right. I think the captain is eloquent enough to defend himself. When we are making our point, there's no need to cut off.
I was not getting you. I keep telling you. I'm not getting you. Go ahead.
Make your point. Just make your point. The man didn't cut you off. We're not getting you. Just make your point.
Machine gun, say for two, is a machine gun, is a contradiction. N203 is a star show article N16 as a launcher.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Machine gun.
All right, Chief.
Because there are three soldiers there, no weapon and no other name weapon.
All right. All right, thank you. So let's go. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening to your guests.
Yeah, man, brother, go ahead.
Thank you so much for the show. My name is Jason Keller, and I call you from Duboro. I listened to the retired general and some of your callers.
The retired captain, not general.
A lot of people have different means in which addressing issues. If you come on to say there are certain things within the leaderships of the entity is not proceeding well, I don't think somebody should subjugate his opinion on how to proceed in finding redress. Coming to a radio station, there's enough form of redress because a lot of people will get involved. Maybe the president or some members of the cabinet don't know what is going on. But by coming to the radio station, broadcasting it and spreading the news, I believe a lot of people will get involved. So no one should castigate him because he's not proceeding professionally. I believe he has exhausted all of the effort in making sure to find redress the issues, but his efforts have been falling on deaf ears. So I commend him. This is a good way. He's now bringing anybody to public district too. I believe so. He won a amicable solution. This is why he come to the radio station. So, General, I want you to just be steadfast, follow the law, don't stir up chaos into the entity. We believe you guys are very important in society. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. He's former captain, though.
Just one more. You done?
Yeah, because of the time, I want a captain maybe to respond before. Yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Kesari Tuma. I call you from Boma County.
Yep.
Let me say this. Let me say a very big thanks to your skill guys, the former captain. And I think he need to, get up the courage the more and do not mind the distractors because this is common in Liberia when those in the upper position, marginalizing people, they don't care to know whether you are professional or you are educated man. All right, so don't mind those that talking or what they talking. Keep moving, keep exerting effort, and I know one day your plan will be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and you are our last caller. So, Seku, back to you and that of the former captain.
So, Captain Jerry Colley, I think you heard your people, and we don't have enough time. We do not have luxury of time to actually cover a lot of ground today, but you can briefly respond to some of these calls. Then we can, maybe we'll get back to you so we can set another day for you to come by so we can complete or continue this conversation. It's very, very interesting.
Thank you, sir. They got pay agent all around. People get in, phone go call and say what. I did not say N203 is a machine gun. I said N203 it was my A1 gun. When I carry ancestor. And that ancestor, you call it something since two machine gun. I don't know where that other man coming from. So let you just buy his Satoka. You don't know anything about the military. So I'm not worried about it. The other man said, look, with 1990 Soyoto 540, I do agree. Second, we were called as Kenshafri and told by our leaders, we certificate to you, take $540. Some people $1,000, some people $1,000 based on rank. So that you can leave your uniform, sack your weapon, and hang your jacket for restructuring. Because you are national soldiers. At the time, we were expecting election in this country. For 2005 election. So what we're going to be eating? That 540 was for us. It was not a benefit. It was not a retirement benefit. And we're going to restructure the armed forces of Liberia. You were had to get disabled, loan service, and general warfareness. Some people are taking drugs in the war. Some people smoke opium. Some people drink liquor. All kind of. You can lead those people to go. You pay them up. The able-bodied man be trained. Somebody was saying whether I was sacked or pension. There was nobody sacked in the army. They disbanded the army. So go and defend disbandment. I'm not accusing somebody of stealing. I see the leadership, say her in the possession, Some of the equipment that were given them by the government. Where are those equipment? They should give a kind of aid. That's what I'm saying. And I called names. They were presiding. John Aaron Johnson was the head of the people because he was responsible for veteran affairs. They had the controller general. They had everybody in there. I can call all of them names. Send this government auditing the people. Let them call them on board. You know how to get phone to somebody say you WO say you did person. No. The real soldier then when they call the name, I know them. So I am saying,
We got 2 minutes.
say you say I should come back. If you show the time, I'll bring document to you. I'll bring paper to you. I'll bring the comprehensive piece of call. The Liberian people know that they run to the AFL. How can somebody survive on $35? So how much are we eating? We as a family man.
So
$1?
Let me call no matter short. If you are available tomorrow, come tomorrow if we can continue with this conversation. Tomorrow.
No problem, sir.
Is that okay?
I made myself available.
Thank you.
The time.
Thank you. So come tomorrow, 6 p.m. Labron time should meet you at the studio so we can start on time.
I will be here.
Okay. Great. Mabel, thank you so much. And thank you to the captain for coming today. And thank you to all the callers and listeners. We will continue with the show. Briefly on just close in 30 seconds before you go for today. Close. Go ahead.
Well, my closing point is that Liberia for all of us. We are Liberian. We all need a demonstrate commitment to the peace process. Why it's true? Madam Annie Johnson came. She said she will fight corruption. At the end of the day, she said corruption was vampire. So Joe came and opened the door. Corruption went on massive corruption. So this government will look at, hey, for me, I just want to be thankful to this government for appointing our board leadership. And we expected our veteran bureau to be leaders to be appointed. When we get there, we'll put pen and paper together. The international community is responsible. America was to play the advanced ICGL. So, ECWA, where are they? We'll write paper. We'll look in the sub-region. We'll have salon day with their own former soldiers. Why it can happen to us? They got money. They went by in the community. God bless Liberia. We'll remain like this and demonstrate commitment to the peace process.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow, Captain Jerry Colley. That was great. We really, really appreciate that. Mabel,
yes.
I want to see the former captain back here. But yeah, with the show finish, we'll take a few calls from the diaspora. Let's see how people going to, react to this. I know you guys going for the news. That's okay. Let me get to this caller right here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Hello? 605 number. Last 4 digit 4139. Are you there? All right. We didn't get that person. So keep your calls coming in. I will take a few calls. And then we'll call it a day. This was a very interesting conversation. I really, really enjoyed, but we didn't have enough time to actually continue the. Yeah, keep your calls coming in. I will take a few calls, and then we will be leaving very soon. Let's take Mark. I believe this call from Europe. Hello.
Yes, I won't call my name.
All right. Go ahead.
Captain Jared Colley is a renowned trained SATO soldier next to the group we call the second generation.
Okay.
The first generation are 11 people that went to Israel. We call them the 11 Jews. So Jerry, the second generation, there were 450 that went to the Sugar Beach. Now there are 450, 370 graduated. Jerry graduated with names people like Moyu Kike. Konodawa was the commander. And I will stop there. So nobody should say that Jerry is not a trained soldier. What they call SATO, a special anti-terrorist unit. That's what they call SATO. So Jerry is a professional anti-terrorist sit there combating what they call horse-to-horse combat. That man is very trained. Thank you very much, Sekou. Bye.
Wow, that person was calling from somewhere from Europe. Wow. I mean, that is a testament. You know, somebody is saying that not only he know the man, but he knows, you know, who he is. Yeah, keep your calls coming in. I'm seeing few calls coming here. You can call on 480-862-0783, or you can call 480-401-2081. So you can be a part of this conversation. Tell us what you know. You know, sometimes Liberians, when we say this, people don't like to hear it. We are our own enemies. We're always fighting to take each other down. Apparently, the guy who called and start talking about professionalism, the man is not acting professional. He is the soldier. That man, you're not even sounding like a soldier. I'm not trying to say he's not a soldier, but he was not sounding like a soldier. When soldier man speaks, we know, we can understand their language. You know, we had the opportunity to work with some people. We had the opportunity to investigate military or uniform wearing security personnel. We conducted a lot of investigation. We talked to a lot of people. And people who come here and talk about name of guns, guns, you know, M203, this one, that one. The guy came here for a purpose, to sound an alarm so that people can understand what they are going through. And one takeaways from this particular conversation, this guy is a peaceful person. He said something very, very, very profound. He said, they have the power, they have the right to make noise, but they elected the other ways around simply because they want peace. They have children, they have wives, they have family. They know what Liberia experience. They have the right, they have the power, they have enough manpower to cause chaos, to cause noise in the country. They have the training. And a country like Liberia on a time bomb, anybody can create havoc. But the guy said they don't want to do that. They decided to take a peaceful route. People should not be dismissive of people who are peaceful in nature. Perhaps he has exhausted other means with no regrets. Now that he's coming to the media, then you want to come and tell him that he's not supposed to go to the media. You know, some of these people who thinks that everything is about defending the government in power. You got to stop that. You cannot politicize everything. It's a shame. It's a shame that all of you, every time, just have to call to defend some kind of, you know, to put up some kind of shady defense just for anything, thinking that you're defending the government. This man was very peaceful. The man is 100% right to ask for pension, to ask for retirement benefit. You have other people taking pay, $15,000 a month, Some people saying that their pay was reduced to $5,000, $5,000 a month. Say their pay is small. They join luxury cars, $40,000 to $80,000. Small beginning that did nothing. Only went on the street and say munya. They around there taking $4,000, $5,000 a month. People who give their life to the country. You giving them $35. $35. Then you coming here to be dismissive of the guy? Hello, caller. What is your name and where you calling from?
Brother Siku, good afternoon. This is Pastor Cummins.
Pastor Gerald Cummins. How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. You know, Siku, I'll say this, and I won't be for long.
Sure.
Captain Jerry Colley, the former Captain Jerry Colley, is a peaceful man.
He is.
You know why I say he's peaceful? When I work with LCBM, when Taylor decided that they will haul all the AFL soldiers, including former soldiers that were still at the Kinshasa barracks, when Colonel Wallo and others decided that, Mr. President, you will not force us to fight any war. People like Captain Jerry Colley, trained as sophisticated as they are, decided not to, but to hold their peace. And I hope and pray that when he come back tomorrow and he talk about their call, I hope, you know, Madam Salif and Brandon Samuka, then they didn't do well for the people. The group that reached retirement age at the time, Seku, all they needed to do was to retire them honorably and give them their just benefit. No, they didn't do so. If you read that call, just go back to that call. The agreement was to retire those who reach retirement age honorably. Extreme officers remain, and they combined them with people that were coming in. But the whole thing was just a political charade. But you know, people who will call and dismiss people that come on, I mean, Captain Colley, I don't think they were in Liberia, nor are they familiar with what transpired from Akusumo 1, Akusumo 2 or 3, or the Banjul Accord. They don't read.
Yeah.
They don't read. Madam Salif never treated those people well, including a trained soldier that Brandon Samuka as well. All the noise that Colonel Wallo and others were making was just to avoid what you see Captain Colley talking about, giving them just benefit. When he gave them 540, can 540 sustain them at the time? No. Now here we are. So if a trained military person coming up and trying to conscientize us and enlighten us that, you know, there's something in the military they call cordon search. All throughout the war, after the war, we never did anything called cordon search. Our country is heavily infested with all kind of stuff. And then when you people say, for us to say, look, the government now, you have the opportunity now. You are the rescue. Rescue these people. Rescue the entire nation. We know that the system was corrupt 6 years ago. They didn't even pay attention to the veterans. But these people are trained people. Very trained. They can cause noise. Seku, you are in the country when AFL soldiers versus the peacekeepers. Versus the peacekeepers, the Nigerian and the Ghanaian peacekeeper, when AFL decided that if they don't get their just benefit, you know what happened in Masorado at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know that standoff between the soldiers and the peacekeepers. They until Brother Sadi had to calm down and they go to talk to Colonel Wallo and others for the people to stand down. Sometimes some of these people are not familiar with history, so they say things. You can't dismiss that man. He's trained. As somebody I know, he's trained.
That man knows what he's talking about. He knows
Our
what
country
he's doing. He knows.
Polarized with politics. Everything they send up, you know, they want to defend. Oh, I got to talk because...
Yeah. So the thing, like everything, every negative thing in the country is a backup responsibility. So they feel the obligation to come and defend it, regardless. I mean, you can't politicize everything. You know, thank you, man. Thank you so much, my brother. As always.
Yeah.
So, my people, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here, for sharing the show, for always being part of SKTV family. I want to thank you for sticking to us. You know, we started a little late today, but it's better late than never. I'm actually baffled. I'm really moved by the fact that the Liberian government, the legislature now, especially the Speaker of the House, is blaming the Deputy Chief Clerk for moving $20 million in the budget. It is unbelievable. But again, that's Liberia. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. You'll be blessed and have a good night.